What's up, everybody? It is Thriving Thursday. I know I've been on the last couple of days. I've been kind of playing on this one. It's gonna be a little bit long of an episode. But it probably won't be about sports today. Uh, Walking through my life up until this point, really. So, without further ado, we will get right into it. Anyways, how we doing? It's Thriving Thursday. We're almost to payday Friday. Hope you guys had a great week so far. It's wonderful weather right now in Indiana, which is kind of crazy because literally Tuesday night, we got fucking snow. But yeah, Indiana is one weird state. One weird state. But yeah, like today we're probably I don't know we might talk about sports like a tad, but we'll mostly talk about my life, well, what I've done with my life until this point. Because I put on the suggestion list on my Instagram, and a person commented and was like, "So man, you probably just talk about your life and like what was it like growing up in a small town." And I was, fuck it, why not? I got nothing else to talk about. I like talking about sports, but then I also like just want to have just a talk with people. I love talking to people. I love to get to know people and all that. So, where do I start? I guess I should start when I was born. I was born in a college town. I was born in Bloomington, Indiana. Um, I was. My birthday is March 23rd, 2002. I turned 19 almost a month ago. So yeah. My parents. Um, my mom and dad never really got along growing up. I I don't remember really much of my like little childhood. Like I'm 19. I'm not gonna remember what the fuck I did when I was like 1 to 4. I just remember when I was 4, we got a new house. We moved up to where I used to live, and it's called a little town called Martinsville. Um, it's cool. It's a vibe. Wasn't my choice, obviously. I was like 3, about to be 4, and then my brother was born when I was 4. Um, Little shithead. But yeah, shout out to my brother, piece of shit. Anyways, when I moved up to Martinsville, I was a new kid. I had no idea, so my parents did what every parent should do, and put me straight into sports. And I played sports like before, like I played like this little church league up at when we used to go to church. But then my parents put me into baseball. They put me into basketball. I did not play football until like fifth and sixth grade. But anyway, I played basketball, and baseball up until that point, and then really kind of like my mom's a social butterfly, and that's not cap. My mom will talk to anybody and everybody about anything, anywhere, anytime, and it just came down to me. Um, I'm probably the social butterfly out of all my siblings. I I'm just like my mom. I can talk to anybody about anything, anywhere, anytime. So it was kind of a gift because I tried making a lot of friends, and I did. Some of my friends that I made when I first got to town are still my best friends to this day, which is which is crazy. Um, but then yeah, I played sports. So I played basketball. I was kind of like basketball was in my hands before I even know. Like as soon as I was born, my dad put a basketball in my hand, and basketball's been the love of my life ever since. But um, I also played baseball. That's where I made most of my friends was playing baseball, and I was pretty good. I was a pretty good baseball player. I was decent. I never like played for a travel team or anything like that, but I was decent. My parent like the thing is about travel teams and all that. Like my parents really like we never had the money to you know go support me and play baseball. Or my brother, he played for a travel team like once or twice, and he's really fucking good. And he'll probably play varsity, and he's never played really for a travel team like some of these kids do every year. And it's not like I'm not trying to like down on my parents or anything, but it's just like money was always tight growing up, and I appreciate that because like it just makes like want to work harder and to get to get the bag. Who does want to get the bag? But yeah, like growing up, I never really played for anything like that, and my parents really never my mom had to work two jobs for a while. My dad was in and out every other job, and I'm not trying to bash my parents or anything because I know they're gonna be listening to this one. But yeah, like growing up, it was cool. Like I played baseball all the time, and I used to ride. I remember when I got fucking. I remember I never used to know how to ride a bike, so all my friends knew how to ride a bike, except for Alex. So Alex would just have to fucking walk, or I would have to like stand on the pegs of the back, if you know what I'm talking about. Like my friend Ben had these pegs, and I would just ride and have my hand on his shoulders, and we go over all over our little town, little section I grew up in Martinsville was called Bucktown. It's kind of like the bad side of town, but like I lived on the good street of the town, if that makes any sense. I've seen plenty of needles and drugs around. Um, it wasn't hard to run away from them. I never did. My parents and all my friends' parents were always like strict on that, which is good. You don't influence to do drugs. But yeah, Martinsville is a small. Like, it's everybody knows everybody pretty much, and like Bucktown gets kind of like a bad representation, and it's gotten better, but like growing up, it was sketchy. It was sketchy. Like as like a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid riding around on a bike with a couple of his best friends. Yeah, it was sketchy. But um, yeah, and then I played basketball. There's like this little league called Little Arties. It's like elementary school level for basketball. Played on that. I thought it was pretty cool. I made a couple of friends there. But like every summer or like every spring in baseball, I was always at the ball field. I'd have like a game like 9 a.m. and I'd still be there like with my friends, doing hooligan shit and messing, causing trouble and not too much trouble till my mom would beat my ass. But like my parents, we lived like right across the street from the ball fields. So my mom, we had to come over here come over to the ball fields and get me. My mom would just scream my name, and when mom screamed my name, you gotta book it in there. My mom has a pretty loud voice, so it was embarrassing as hell. Like growing up, like I'd be hanging out with my friends, thinking nothing of it, watching baseball games, and then my mom would scream "Poppy," and yep, you gotta make it home. So I grab my brother and we run home. But then yeah, so growing up, my parents. So I never saw my mom and my dad together. Or like I have, I mean, I've seen pictures of them together. And I know I'm like all over the place, and I really don't care because it's my podcast. But yeah, my parents were they got married right before I was born, or around that time I was born. Then they got divorced, and then they got back together in 2005, 2006 ish. Because my brother born '06, and then I remember like shortly after they got divorced again. So like me and my brother like have like no memory of my parents being together, which is cool. They're on better terms now. They weren't on good terms for a while, and like maybe like a couple months before I see my dad and all this junk, and because he was in and out of jobs, and I had to go see my grandma to go see him because he was at my grandma's house because he had a house at the time, and it sucked. I'm not gonna lie. My grandma's house has a fucking ginormous hill because she lives in a barn. And so to get to the barn, you have to like drive down this ginormous hill. And before we could even drive down, you had to like walk up and down this fucking hill. And it was like damn near Mount Everest. I felt like, at least. Shit was horrible. But it was cool. Like I said, I remember hanging out with my dad. It's not like my dad was like completely out of my life, but he, you know, didn't see him as much because he was always busy and doing other things. But like when your dad, I remember when I used to get so excited when my dad would come to my baseball games because I know he was always working and he was trying to get like himself a place and doing his own thing, so he was never around. But Yeah, like I used to remember, I used to get so excited to see my dad. And I remember I used to play the fucking best. Like when my dad showed up to my games, I was like damn near Derek Jeter, dude. I was hitting home runs. I was I was fielding the best. I didn't suck at pitching, but everything else I was awesome at. And you know, I mean, it's not like he never. It's not like he stopped supporting us or anything like that. He was always. My parents always had Facebook, so they were like, "Yeah, he's doing great. My brother's doing great. My brother's hands down probably the most athletic person I've ever seen in my entire life. It doesn't matter what the fuck he does, he will do it at a level that nobody else can. And like, he just start like he's so good at baseball. I remember he made the news, or not the news, but he made like the newspaper about how he got like an unassisted triple play. He got a triple play all by himself, which is like rare and extremely unheard of. And it was cool. I got my face in the fucking paper because the only picture my mom had of me and my brother was like opening day or something like that, and all this. Me and my brother have like maybe 15 pictures together, like growing up. Unless it was like a family gathering, we never got any pictures together ever. But yeah, then we got to like I would say like fifth grade. So the field that was right in front of my house was like fifth grade to seventh grade, I would say, fifth, sixth, seventh. So it was cool. My parents had to like walk across the fucking whole ball field to go watch me play, and that's kind of like I don't know. That was like probably my favorite years playing baseball. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved playing baseball every single year, but like sixth and seventh grade, like fifth, sixth, and seventh grade was like awesome. That was kind of like whenever everybody knew who I was because I have like a last name like nobody really hears of, like Poppy. Like that's not a last name. You're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Like every time I remember, like every day in school or like beginning of school, like the teachers look at the list and see my last name, and then they looked at me and like, you're not Mexican. I said, no sir, I am actually Native American, which I think everybody is really. But yeah, my last name's kind of cool. I ain't gonna flex, but it's pretty cool. Anyways, like back to fifth and sixth grade. Like, that's kind of like when everybody, kind of got to know my name. My brother's doing his thing, and we were kind of like, I couldn't go to the ball field and like nobody know me. Like I would go to ball fields and I get stopped like every fucking field, which sucked because if I got in trouble, everybody fucking knew, cause it's fucking Alex Poppy. Everybody knows who I am. But yeah. And then I also played basketball. My dad was my coach in fifth grade, which was like probably the worst decision I think I've ever let happen. My dad dude, my dad's fucking harsh coaching. Motherfucker like yells at you at fifth grade, like fucking yells at you, like what the fuck. My team, I think we won one game, and it was off like one of our players, like he just threw the ball up and banked it in. My second, but yeah. Um, I played football in fifth grade. As I was like wide receiver slash running back. They put me in running back like towards the end of the season because our good running back got like a concussion. He was out for a long time, so they put my skinny ass out there. Back when I was decently skinny, and I remember getting plowed over. I remember the hit by this one kid that plays at Indiana State now. I remember that hit. That fucking hurt. I told my coach I wasn't playing running back ever again because that hit. Oh, that shit hurt. And then I played wide receiver most of the year, like wide receiver and corner. That's kind of where all the bad kids play at in Little League football. But I had this one chance and I catch the ball and beat like the best team. And I tripped over my shoelaces. Tripped over my goddamn shoelaces. And I remember going back to my coach. I was like, yep, I'll just sit the rest of this game. It was almost over anyways. And he was like, no, you're going to get better. We're going to do it again. And the fucking quarterback over fucking throws it. And I'm getting yelled at again because apparently I wasn't running fast enough. And then sixth grade, I played like more defense. I didn't play any offense really. Sixth grade, I played defensive end, defensive tackle, like ish. I was like we were rotating in and out. It was me, my best friend Ben, and our other friend Tyler, who was fast as fuck, and it was fun. I remember I missed a tackle so bad I ran into Ben. I hit my fucking helmet with my into Ben's forearm, and Ben's forearm was like bruised for like a week and a half. It was so funny. But in sixth grade, we made all the way to the championship game at Martinsville. Like we have a helmet that you run out of for football games, which they don't warn you, but inside the helmet it is cold as hell. Like it was like fall, football season, fall, and I was just walking the helmet. They like shoot like the smokish kind of thing. But man, when that thing hits your back of your calves, it is cold. It is freezing. But yeah, seventh grade. I already talked about school. Fifth and like elementary school was kind of like a blur. Fifth grade was like the best year ever. Like I'm already leaving the school. Like why do I even care? We had like I remember I was decently at reading, but then I stopped reading. I hated it. Like by like third grade, I was like, you know what, mom, just sign off and say I read this book because I'm not reading this book. Like my mom would like make me read this book, and it was just so boring. I hate reading. It just puts me to sleep. But and then like middle school, sixth grade was kind of like and like it was like elementary school right over again. Seventh grade though, in school, that's when all of my best friends, that's when we all got together. I already knew Ben, I already knew Zach, and then but if it wasn't for Ben, I wouldn't have met my other best friend Christian, who you guys have probably heard of on the podcast before, and his older brother Tyler, who was a grade above us, and you know, we had this friend named Mason. Mason's awesome, but I don't really talk to Mason no more. But anyways, Zach, Ben, Christian, Tyler, and me, and we were kind of like best friends. We went to this after school program called 2-1. It was through the Y, and that's when we all became best friends. And if it wasn't for that, dude, I don't know if I mean I always knew who Christian was, but we weren't close like that. And then like man, like it was like on the spot we were best friends. We're best friends to this day. I don't know how. I don't know how they can deal with me. I'm probably like I don't know. I'm all over the place all the time. If you can tell like by me talking, like I'm all over the place every time. But yeah, 2-1 was a kind of big thing. It was cool as hell in seventh grade. Mr. Britton and Miss Britton and Adam were G's. They let us do whatever we wanted. It was awesome. Like they made you do your homework first of all. If you didn't do it in class, you had to do it in there. Then you had to go like play basketball or we go to the Y and like. Or I remember in seventh grade we went to the Y, and it was like this like little I don't want to say like wilderness area. Anyways, there was like these fucking wasps. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? They won't bother us. We'll just keep playing. We were playing capture the flag. I got stung like 3 or 4 times, and I was done. I think I actually like shed a tear. I don't like getting stung. That shit hurt bad. And like all my friends, me, Ben, Christian, I don't know if Zach got stung, but me, Ben, and Christian, I remember clearly that we were all just sitting there inside the YMCA, like bumps and like ready to get fucking treatment like put on because when you get stung, you have to put like some things on it so you're, parent things. But they were treating us right, and then man, I fucking hurt. We go to school the next day like laughing about it. We're all wearing long sleeves so we can protect our arms. Oh, good time. But in seventh grade, yeah, it was cool. Like that's when we all became best friends, really. And we always just like go. I don't know if I ever went to. We always just go to Ben's house. Ben's little like before Ben moved to his bigger house. He had like his parents had this small fucking little bitty house, but it was a place to go because Ben's mom was the hookup. We just went to Ben's mom's house and hung out. They would feed us. They would let us do really whatever we wanted. It was really small, but it was cool. I loved it. Eighth grade, we didn't really go to 2-1 really that much because like Mr. Brin and Miss Brin kind of left, and then Adam was cool, but it wasn't the same as it was seventh grade year. So we just stopped going like halfway, but we'd still hang out and we all play basketball together. And me and Christian played baseball. Zach and Ben did it, but and then freshman year, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of a piece of shit freshman year. That's like we had two middle schools. We had East and West before they combined them, and so I was cool with some of the middle school people or from the West people, and so I thought I was too big for my other friends. I was a piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie. I started hanging out with other people. Freshman year you had this big old freaking circle, and I'm trying to include my friends from East and include them from West, and they don't like each other for some odd reason. And so I started hanging out more with the West people, and I stopped hanging out with the people that I kind of grew up with in middle school and elementary school. And eventually, I don't know what sparked, but I was like, I want the same friends I've had for a while. So I stopped hanging out with my big ass circle that I had, and then it got down to back to the same people. And we still had a bigger group. We still had a decent group. It was like 7 of us, 6, 8 of us. But like by like junior year, like halfway through sophomore year / junior year, that's like when like everybody came back. And we got back. We were a lot closer 7th and 8th, or like the way we were in 7th and 8th grade is the way we came back in like sophomore year. We all best friends again. And it's not like I stopped talking to them like completely. I just like everybody kind of knew who I was because like my last name, and I played sports with everybody. But so like I was talking to literally every single person, and my other friends like Christian, Zach, and Ben and Tyler, they're not really like they're not as social as I am. Well, they weren't, at least they weren't. They're social now, but they weren't in high school. Like Ben and Christian, talk to nobody. Tyler's a little out there, and then me and Zach are kind of like the same. But Christian and Ben didn't talk to like really anybody, and so I was talking to all these people, and then they all kept in touch, and we all stayed to each other. So it was kind of weird. I wanted to kind of like branch out, but then I was like, nah, that's not the move. So then I went back to my friends, and we all, it's not like we didn't like leave each other. We just kind of like didn't hang out as much. And then I think it was like my mom told me she mentioned something like, oh, like, you haven't hung out with Christian and all of them in a while, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I remember like we went to Ben's house because by this time Ben had a big ass house. Like junior year, Ben had this house is huge, haunted, mind you. The house is haunted, but it was big, and so we all hung out. I remember we went to Ben's birthday would have been before Christian. So yeah, we went to. Where the fuck did we go for Ben's birthday? I remember it was after Y ball games, and we all wore our Y ball jerseys. It was me, Christian, Zach, Ben, and Mason. I think Tyler did, but Tyler didn't play Y ball. Who the fuck pulled up my phone? Oh. Anyways, yeah, I think. Oh, we went to Rascals. That's where we went. We went to Rascals. And then I remember we went back to Ben's house and we all played 2K. Because 2K18 was like sophomore year. It was fun. And then, yeah. We all hang out again. We always go to Ben's house. Like once every couple months. That's what best friends do. We just go to each other's house once every couple months. We don't hang out all the time. And then by that time, it was Christian's birthday. Because Christian's birthday is right before mine. In January, maybe? I think it's January. February. I don't know. I know Ben's and Zach's, because Zach's the same one as my mom, and then Ben is the same before. For some reason, I think Christian's birthday is like, I think it's January 29th. I think. I'm gonna ask him. No, I'm not gonna ask him. I'll ask him later. But yeah, I'm really bad at memory. My Christian's birthday, for some odd reason, I can never remember. I'm pretty sure it's January 29th. Pretty fucking positive. But anyways, for Christian's birthday, we tried to go to Great Times, which is like another Rascals. If you don't know what that is, Rascals like had like mini golf, a couple go-kart races, and a big old arcade, and like a small pin bowling. So it's like pretty cool. But we went there for Ben's birthday, And then we tried going to Great Times, which is like a similar version of Rascals, for Christian's birthday. And then we get there, and they say we cannot go there because like the go karts aren't open. And so we went back to Rascals. Went to Rascals 2 times. And then we went to Christian's mom's house. Love Christian's mom. But we went back to her house, and I remember we had to like convince. Cause Mason's mom is kind of like more strict than our other parents. But so his mom was like not really wanting Christian wedding. Mason stayed the night because of she didn't know Christian's mom or anything like that. But we convinced her, and then I remember like 8 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and Mason's already fucking gone. Like he was picked up early, but I mean, probably makes sense because he had to go to church the next morning. But he was gone. And then I don't remember what we did for my birthday, my sophomore year. I think we just came over and we ate dinner. I think that's what we did. Yeah, we went and did like we just hung out and played basketball because I had a basketball goal at my house with pavement. And so we did. I don't remember what we did for Zach's birthday. I think we did the same thing for him. We hung out. And then junior year, I got a girlfriend, man. I fucked up. I got a girlfriend in high school. We've been through this. But I still hung out with all my friends. Sophomore year is my last year playing baseball, but junior year I still played basketball for a local Y League, which is weird because when you think of Y League, you think like, the kids aren't as good as like the high school kids or anything. Dude, they were studs in the Y Ball League. Like I remember my sophomore year when we went undefeated, we would have beat the varsity team like easily. We beat this Christian school in my town's varsity team on their senior night by like 30 points. We were fucking good. But then junior year, I still play basketball. What do we have in junior year? Nothing really. Oh, we all got our licenses, so we started like. I'm the youngest in all of my friends. Like out of our circle, I am the youngest. And so I was the last one to get my fucking license because I didn't do driver's ed. And I remember they used to all like rock, paper, scissors on who was taking me home. Even though I lived like 5 minutes away, it was such a big deal for them to take me home. Like Ben could have took me home and then skirted home. But no. Had to get fucking pain in the ass about it. But yeah. And then I got my grandma gave me her hand-me-down car, which is cool. I worked at Steak and Shake junior year, which is awesome. I miss Steak and Shake all the time. That job was like the most relaxed job I've ever had. Like there's like barely any rules. We used to do so much dumb shit there. It was awesome. What else happened junior year? Really nothing. We all still hung out. I got a job. I think Zach had a job, but we'd still find time to hang out with each other. I had a girlfriend, so I was like, being the typical 16-year-old boy, hanging out with his girlfriend all the time. Really that's it. And then senior year, pretty much the same thing. We all played volleyball. We still hung out with each other. And then I had a girlfriend still. Dated that bitch for 2.5 years for nothing. Absolutely nothing. I learned a lot though. I do appreciate that. I've learned a lot about people in 2.5 years. Learned about myself. 2. Let's not get depressing. No. We're moving on. Yeah, senior year is kind of like, and then senior year, it got cut off because it was 2020. One of the last days was March 13th. Like everybody else. It was depressing. Senior year, we did go. Me and Zach and a couple other people. We went to go celebrate his birthday. We went to a what are those things called? Escape room. We went to an escape room, and I, being the smart ass I am, being the smart, intelligent human being, I got us the last clue. I didn't get as much clues in the beginning because I'm not that as bright as other people, and I'm overthinking everything. But I got us the last clue to get us out of the room, and that everybody should be thanking Alex. What else? Oh, for my birthday we celebrated. We went go karting. That was badass. I think I thought I broke my tailbone. I thought I broke my ass cheek, but I didn't. But it was fun. And then really, 2020, I played a lot of golf. I played a lot of golf. A lot of golf. And it's continued into 2021. I've played a lot of golf so far. I have a golf tournament this Sunday. I'm doing a outing, a scramble. Be my first one ever. But really, that's about it. Leading up to my life as of right now, April 22nd, 2021. It's been a ride. It's been a long time. Like looking this is kind of cool because looking back at everything and what's going on, what's happened, what's made me who I am now is kind of wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. But shout out to Quentin. He's my brother's good friend. He came up with the suggestion of me talking about my life, and I was like, you know what? I am going to. And I know I haven't uploaded either Tuesday or Wednesday, but hopefully this was a longer one for y'all. You guys can enjoy, judge my life, because I could care less. But I probably won't talk about sports. It's already been 31 minutes. We'll talk about sports tomorrow. Recap of the week. Look into the weekend. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It is Thriving Thursday. Tomorrow we get paid. It's payday Friday. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Be a great person today. Be a better person tomorrow. Peace.